somebody been going for. That's what I'm going to say. You got what I need. But you say he's just a friend. And you say he's just a friend. Oh, baby, you got what I need. But you say he's just a friend. But you say he's just a friend. Oh, baby, you.
He got what I need. Is he really just a friend, though?
Ooh, hola, chulos y chulas.
I know.
Our first chulo.
This is exciting.
We're so excited.
I know. So many people have been waiting, and I was like, they're coming. I got my friends. They coming in because they care so deeply. And they, like, we getting it. So we're going to introduce our first chulo. I want you to give it up for my friend. We got Mindset on here. Hey, Mindset.
Hola.
I guess I'm chulo.
You're chulo.
You are
an honorary chulo.
Welcome to True Chulas.
Welcome, chulo.
I know.
Thanks for having me.
The first one. How does that feel?
Yeah.
You're like our first chulo.
We're honored that you are our first chulo, and I
know,
hope
we
you
are.
feel the same way.
I know, we definitely are. It's exciting. So we have our topic that we're going to talk with you about. You know, we have to get our chulas their point of view, and so we're going to be talking about, can men and women be friends in general, just platonic friends? Say you meet them when you like 5, as I've heard my friends' husbands say, oh, I got a friend since I was 5 years old. Okay, cool. And after you've broken up, can you remain friends? Can you be in a new relationship and still be friends with the person that you were with, like, for so many years? Is that even a possibility, Mindset? Can you do that?
Yeah, tell us.
Can you be friends with somebody of the opposite sex?
Let's start there.
Correct.
Can
Let's
you?
start there.
Absolutely.
Why?
Absolutely. Well, I mean, why shouldn't you be? Does gender play a role in friendship? The guy says, you know what, you shouldn't be friends with somebody of the opposite sex. I think that men and women can absolutely be friends and platonic without any type of sexual encounter. Like me, myself, preferably, I love being around women. And women make good friends and great business partners.
Yeah, we are.
Yes, we are. I know,
do.
that's right. We can agree with that one.
All right, so I have a question for you, Mindset, then. At what point, just to give you, like, kind of like somebody that I know that she was married, she has a colleague that she works with, they were good friends, platonic friends, and somewhere along the line, I don't know how or what, it turned into more than friends. So, how do you explain that, and what do you think, why does that happen?
So you had a colleague that was friends with a man, and then they became more than friends.
Correct.
Oh, man, this stuff. So the thing is you got job husbands and you have job wives. So the reason why, this mindset speaking, the reason why some of those things happen is because sometimes you get to expressing to your coworker that things that your spouse is not doing, and they just pick up the slack. So all they got to do is pretend to be exactly what you want. So if she coming to work every day like, man, I just hate when he don't give me no compliment. And he like, man, you look really nice today. And then he at work complaining about his wife all the time, talking about, man, I came in, she don't appreciate me. And all she got to do is hand her some scissors. She going to be like, thank you, Big Daddy, for handing me the scalpel and the scissors. So, that's how it happens.
So we should not complain about our spouses then?
Not at all. You should never vent about your personal life out in public, especially to the opposite sex.
Okay.
All right. Especially to the opposite sex.
Right. That's what I heard too.
So,
go ahead.
So I do want to say this. It's a small line and a very rare percentage. Like me, I know my character. Now, if you've been friends with somebody for a long time, we ain't talking about, oh, that's my brother, or somebody that's hugging everybody in the club every time somebody, not those type of people. Like, you can vent to me. Now, there's certain people that you can talk to, and they're definitely a safe place, and they're not trying to cross those lines. So I don't want anybody that's listening to be like, oh, well, my husband, he got a female friend. It's not everybody. It's, oh, my wife, she got this male friend. It's not everybody. So you got to judge the person by the character that they possess. Character is what happens when you have closed doors. Reputation is what you want people to believe. So it is a small percentage of people out there that have great character. Very small.
Agree. Yeah. Because that's why, for me personally, I think men and women can be friends because I have male friends. And that's all I see them as. They end up becoming like big brothers. Yeah. Because most of them are older than me. So I end up having just more big brothers than I already have. So I believe, yes, you can, because I know who I am. And like Mindset mentioned, it's all about character and who you are. Right. And knowing who I am, I can keep those boundaries and not cross those lines. Because that's, for me, it comes down to boundaries. Like, you have to have those boundaries. You have to know where you stand, what you're looking for. Because once that thought comes,
it's just like a slight line, right?
It is. Yeah. Like, if you let that thought creep in, it's just almost a wrap. And there's nothing more you can do about it. But I have had some people, the reason why the question became about is because I've had some people who be like, no, you absolutely cannot, from the opposite sex, be friends with them, because most of the times people are looking for something because either they're having issues in marriage or they're dating somebody that doesn't meet their qualities and standards. So then it becomes an issue of, oh, well, he's just my friend, but then you over here flirting and all that other kind of stuff because you're missing something in your relationship that you have or you don't have at all, and you want something and they hold qualities that exist in what your standards and what you're looking for. So I don't know, but then that comes into, well, what if you dated somebody and then now you're broken up? Can you stay friends with them?
So is that the next part?
It is. Can you stay friends? Can you stay friends with them?
Before we move on to that, it dropped in my spirit is covenant. A spouse must honor their covenant and not just view it as a contract. And I'm going to say it again. A person got to honor covenant. So if somebody's flirting with you or misbehaving at work or all up in your face, it's an individual thing. So if somebody in my face and I'm married, I'm like, you know what, I don't play those games. You have to honor your covenant and set boundaries, and then those things won't happen at work.
Yeah, but if you have, so just piggybacking off what you just said, if you have covenant, but wouldn't that then exclude having friends of the opposite sex? Because
not at all. Okay. Not at all. I honor covenant. See, you can have friends of the opposite sex, but it's when they crossing those boundaries is when you cut them off. So you my friend prior to me getting in a relationship. So if I was to go get married tomorrow, I'm not cutting you off because you my friend and I just got married. I honor my covenant. So if you cross those boundaries and say, oh, man said, I just love the way you, hold on, wait a minute. You better back up, Kim. Get yourself together. That's honoring covenant. It's a difference. No, you don't cut off all your friends just because you got married.
But I think you have to have the integrity to actually have the huevos to tell people that, right?
You have to, period. And,
yes.
And that's agreed. Honoring covenant. Have to have integrity. Well said.
Makes sense to me.
But what about the guy who's just like, he's just nice? He's just nice to everybody. Right. And he's nice to you. He's nice to his wife. He hugs everybody. He's nice to you. And you're like, is he overdoing it? Is he just like this with everybody? Like, should I be worried? Should I not be worried? Like, there are just some people, because girls can do the same thing.
They can. It's not just men.
I don't know if it's like, they're too hands-on, like they're just touching you and hugging you and all that.
Are you talking about if your husband is nice with everybody or one of your coworkers is nice with everybody?
I guess it would be both. Either
what if it is, say Papi Chulo is super nice and he's nice to everybody, including all the girls, but he doesn't necessarily mean to go out and pass the covenant.
Papi Chulo is your husband. That's what we referring to as Papi Chulo?
Papi Chulo is my husband.
Yes.
All right, well, I ain't referring to no other grown man as Papi Chulo.
Thank you.
but I will say your house band, your husband. So one, insecurity comes from when the other spouse does not make them feel secure. So it's his job to make you feel secure. So if you see that,
it is his job.
What you say?
It is his job to make me feel secure, or should I be secure within myself?
No, security and self-esteem are two different things. So self-esteem is within. The security comes from external. You should be secure within yourself, but I'm talking about secure within your relationship. Because, say for instance, I speak. So if I'm at a conference and somebody come up and gave me a hug, and then I don't introduce my spouse, she has the right to be insecure. But if somebody come give me a hug and I say, well, this is Mrs. Jones right here, then if she start acting out or acting crazy, that's a self-esteem. That's a reflection of something that's happening internal. Does that make sense?
It does.
Yes.
Yeah. So you should be secure, but by you knowing him. But if he's super nice and friendly, I'll tell you one thing. One of my boys told me, he said, man, you're too nice to them. You always speaking to people. I'm giving compliments. I'm loving to give people joy, but that's not my intention. But some women, they may take it the wrong way. So when I'm in a relationship, I have to make sure that I'm not super extra nice with somebody and that I'm making my spouse, put my spouse on a pedestal to where she knows that she's the only logical choice, that no other person comes before her.
Mm-hmm.
And that should be whether they're with you or when they're not with you.
Mm-hmm. Yep, all the time.
Behind my back and front.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Agreed.
So if I'm at an event, I'm staying at another hotel. Just did a conference, I was way at another hotel. Nobody knew where I was at because it's my character. It's who I am. But that's something that you should even exercise even while you're single. Because realistically, people can perceive some things and turn it into their reality.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they can. Absolutely. Seen it. 100%. And it's crazy because other people won't even notice it, but in their mind, that's what they see and that's what they want and that's what they're after. And so it's like a wrap. Nothing you can tell them, nothing that can be done. You could be so oblivious to it and it'll still happen. It's just crazy. But to each their own, go after.
No, I mean, I love the way mindset thinks, but not everybody thinks that way. Like, not every man does that, and I wish every man did do that, right? Take care of his girl like that.
Right, and they don't. I mean, it happens where it doesn't exist. Because I know of another person, and they were doing the same thing as you had mentioned, in the standpoint of, like, being super friendly, super nice, but in the relationship that they were in, because they were married, well, they still are, the relationship and the dynamics between them, he didn't treat his wife the same way. But it was like when you saw it on the outside, things were so different. And you just, to how mindset said it, it was almost like that security was gone. And so the wife did start acting out. Like, I mean, some crazy things were said and done. And it was like, okay, well, that could stem from, or it might probably did, the fact that the husband wasn't making their relationship secure and knowing that that's his woman, that's where it stands, and making it known.
Mm-hmm.
I guess almost like marking the territory.
Yeah.
I want to say something real quick. It's so good, and we end up going so far into this before the next question. But men, we as men, we have to take accountability, because husband means house band. It's our job to hold the house together. And if I plant seeds into my spouse's life, I can't complain or get mad when the harvest comes out. So that's why it's also important to effectively communicate. This for any ladies listening to this podcast. You must effectively communicate your emotions and your feelings, and don't start acting out and having tantrums and respond to reaction. You got to say, you know what, baby, listen, I love you. Build them up, as the sandwich effect. I love you. I care about you. I know you care about me. Yet, when you do X, Y, Z, I don't like the way you make me feel. This does this, and it has this impact on me. I would like it if you don't do that. It's just a conversation that needs to be held.
But some people don't have that conversation because, well, that could mean there's an issue. But some of them don't have this conversation because of how...
Well, they don't have good communication skills.
That, but also even if they well, maybe that means they don't, but even if they did, their spouse isn't receptive of what they're trying to communicate. And they may view it as something bad or complaints or nagging, all the favorite words that come up in conversation. So sometimes women don't do that because of that reason.
Yeah, and that both parties need to be safe, and that's something that must be taking place before marriage. And it's sad that we wait until we get into it to figure those things out, because it can come off that, girl, you know I ain't like that. Well, guess what? You should express that a long time ago, because usually it didn't happen that one time that they blew up and got mad. It probably happened previous times before, but they bottled it, and like the little volcanoes when we were growing up in school, you used to mix baking soda and vinegar to make a little explosion.
Right.
Yeah.
Literally. I remember them things. Boom.
Boom.
That was a wrap. Then you had to clean up the mess.
Yeah.
No, it exists. But then that leads into the question that I posed earlier. Can you be friends with an ex? After y'all done had your relationship, after you didn't like and after we didn't got it on and all that other crazy stuff, and now you're like, oh, it's over, I don't want to be with you no more. This happened, this is the reason why. Can you still be friends?
Okay, well, I personally think it's a situational. Like, if he was like not nice and he was a jerk, then I wouldn't want to be friends with him. So my choice,
because we know we all have them.
Okay, so my choice would be not to. But if it was like we both agreed, like we're gonna,
but just because
move on,
okay.
I don't know. I'm just saying all my exes live in Texas. No, I'm just kidding.
All right, mine says
I don't live near any exes, so I can't speak to that.
You know, I mean, mine aren't in the same state either, so I can't even say anything about that either.
Like, why would you want to be friends with your exes?
Hold on. I'm not letting y'all get off so easy. Wait a minute. Come on now. Like, for all the brothers that go listen to this podcast, you can still be friends on the telephone. I live in Texas. When you can be tiptoeing in the bathroom talking to somebody in Texas, and you can be talking to somebody in another state. So,
why are we tiptoeing? Why are we tiptoeing in the bathroom?
Tiptoeing to Texas, and you talking about violence in another state. Those the worst type of relationships. When you got an emotional tie to somebody over the phone.
But that's the reason why, for me, I think you can't be friends with an ex, because there was emotion. You intertwined with them physically, if you do. Like, there's so much that's connected.
Emotional, yeah.
Right. Because you know sex brings emotion when all that goes down. So it's like, how can you be friends with somebody that you are an ex with? I mean, example, I have an ex, don't live in the state.
Yeah.
And
out of state people. Come on, state property. Come on.
And so every now and then, because of it was a long relationship, I'll get a message, and it's like, oh, you want to go to Mexico? No, I don't want to go to Mexico. Do you want to go to Philly? No, I don't want to drive to Philly. Like, I don't want. These are the things that we did when we were together. No, I don't want to do them now
because we're not together anymore.
Correct. So we can't. Me and my ex, we can't be friends because of that reason.
You're not doing the same things that you did before,
right?
And you know exactly what you like, girl. You want a Philly cheesesteak? You want to go get some Italian ice?
You know the Philly cheesesteaks from Cleveland is real good.
Yeah. You can't do that to us.
Why? We can't be friends. No, I'm not going to Mexico with you. I'm not. Like, why are you even asking me this? We've been broken up for almost, let's just say 3 years. No, I'm not going to Mexico with you. Like, we not.
You try to get back again.
After 3 years, though?
Well, that's why you can't be friends with him, because he doesn't want to be friends with you.
But that answers, well, for me, it answers the question that no, you cannot be friends with your ex. There's too many things that tie y'all together. You just can't.
Well, I'm going to say it's situational. It depends.
So y'all over here on an agreement. Okay.
So,
I agree.
I mean, to me, it's a level of maturity. It depends on where you at, because sometimes sex is casual to a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll always say, and I got to coin a phrase: friendship is the ship that'll take you to the rest of the ship. Now, friendship can take you into a serious relationship or a marriage, but also friendship is the base and the foundation for all the rest of your ships. So if you have a good
Say it again for the people in the back. Mindset.
Say
it again about friendship being the foundation.
Friendship is the ship that'll take you to the rest of the ship, but friendship is the foundation of any ship.
Boom.
So any ship friendship is the foundation. So if you have a solid friendship and you get into, say you drunk and you drinking, I don't know what you young folks drinking, you have a little drinky drink and you slip up and have sex with somebody, is the whole friendship ruined? It's like, hold on, you know what, man, we should have never did that. You know, and it is some of those relationships, like we're not talking about people that have wives and husbands. We're just talking about two friends that's been real close. They know each other. One of them might call each other vulnerable, and they had some casual sex, but they were able to get back to their friendship because they valued that friendship more than they value any type of physical connection.
But does that really happen though? I mean, I've never met anybody where.
What happened to the integrity of the character?
Right.
The Bible says nothing new is under the sun. So anything that I speak about, I mean, it's happened in the world. Just because it has not happened in your life or my life or somebody else's life, it is people that honor relationships. And let's just be real. Sex is to the point now it's just fair exchange of goods and services. Like, sex is so casual now, it's not even attached to anything. Like, people back in the day, I was just looking. What you say now?
No, it's not true.
Yeah, I mean, I was just looking up. Jet used to say Jet Beauty of the Week, page 43. I used to think it was the stuff to see a woman in a bathing suit. Now I turn on my social media, I see that all the time.
Yeah.
So what was sacred has become the new norm everywhere on social media.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, realistically, can we say that you can't go back to being friends? To me, I think you can. It's just it's casual. It's a lot of people that just have sex with their friends and they go on about their day and they live like that.
And what kind of friends you
Yeah.
got? I don't know about that. That's this new
allergic.
generation.
Talking about me. I'm standing up for the people because somebody's gonna be here like
he's standing up for all the bees.
Yeah.
Sex like me.
Yeah. Throwing up them B signs.
Somebody just needs to scratch an itch.
Oh.
I mean, they may need a little itch scratcher.
I mean,
people...
you are right about that though. This generation, they have.
Yeah, agreed.
It's. I mean, even to the point of like the kids.
School.
I mean,
they touching each other. And
like it's so sexualized in school right now. It's so crazy.
It's disgusting.
It is. So no, I totally get what you're saying. But that's this generation and what's happening. So I agree with you on that point that sex has been almost like dumbed down to a level of where it's not, like, as you mentioned, it's not sacred anymore between husband and wife of how God planned it to be. So I totally agree with that. But it's a mess. I still don't believe that exes should be friends. I'm not with that life.
I don't need Papi Chulo to be friends with his exes. Let's just put it that way.
We talked about one of them earlier. Absolutely.
No.
Right.
So I have a question for you. Say your ex. Am I allowed to ask the question?
Yes, of course.
Okay. So say your ex, he messed with his business partner before. So, or she messed with her business partner before, and they have a multi-million-dollar business, and it happened 5 or 10 years ago, and they decided that the business relationship meant more than their personal lives. Are you saying, well, you got to end the business if you want to marry me? Does he get an ultimatum?
But that's not an ex, though.
But we were talking about sexual, because what determines the ex partner, ex relationship? Because sex means, to me, I'm a man speaking. I care more about a man penetrating you than an ex that didn't have no sex. If I had a woman who was saving herself for marriage and she said she dated somebody and she was with him, and this was her ex, and she never had sex with him, I would prefer that over somebody that was getting those yams on a regular basis, smashing, knowing her innermost parts, digging all up in her feet with no title. I care more about the person digging in her feet with no title than the person that was with her.
Say it again. I am totally there with
Like,
you.
what are you talking about?
Yes.
Like, I
Yes.
think digging in her feet means more to me than the person that was just taking her out to eat and going to church with her, singing Kumbaya, my Lord.
Yes. 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 Yes.
I mean, you care more about the Kumbaya, my Lord, girl, or do you care more about Becky that was the top knocking, dropping it and deep throated? I mean, which one do you care about?
Well, all that.
Mindset, I hope you, because you're our first honorary chulo, you will be willing to come back again.
Oh, I'm coming back. I mean, I love it. No, because these are real conversations. I live for this. I mean, relationship is my field. So, like, when we having this conversation, I'm asking you, don't deter from it.
No. To answer your question, for me to answer your question based on the scenario, I don't think that to me doesn't classify a relationship. You slept with your business partner one time and it happened. Y'all were like, no, we became friends. It happened so long ago. It is what it is. Since then, nothing else has happened. I'm okay with that. Me personally, because it wasn't a relationship.
Yeah, I agree.
There were like no emotional ties because people, like you said, people can have sex and not.
It doesn't mean anything.
Doesn't mean it. Like they just did it to
do
as y'all say, it's a scratch. So therefore, it's.
Oh, I wish I was on the radio right now because 1,000 men are calling. So many men don't even have emotional ties, and I wanted to hear you say it. So what difference does it make?
It does make a difference.
No emotional attachment.
No, I mean that was the scenario that you gave, and that's completely different. That is completely different. No, but okay. So are you saying that men can never have emotional attachment, like at all?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Okay, so
women are getting more emotional attached. But I'm saying, so what difference if a man tells you, I never was even emotionally attached to her. I was just smashing her. She used to put the kids to bed. I came over, got the yams, and I out.
No, that's like a whole relationship there. Like if you're doing this multiple times, like it's been happening for many, 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 many years, that's a whole relationship, whether he wants to believe it or not. That woman, I guarantee you, believes that's a whole relationship.
It's so funny how women see that's not a relationship. That is a.
I didn't say to me that was a relationship. I said to her, who it's happening to, she would believe that's a relationship.
If she was under the assumption that it was, right?
Correct.
If she was under the assumption that it was a relationship.
And it's no different for a lot of men, like going to the drive-thru to go get a sandwich off the number 2. Listen, I need a number 2. He got the upstairs, he got the downstairs. I don't know who's listening to this. He got out. He got the combo. And no emotion was attached. And now he want to be with you. He want to marry you. And he say, we friends now. That's my friend. Look, she just bluffed me a lot of times.
But you just gave two totally different situations. You said one, it happened one time. They decided that's it. It wasn't what it is. And that was it. There was nothing else that happened. That's totally different than you going over there multiple times a week. Say, oh, I'm coming over Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and maybe Sunday, and we're going to kick it and track. Right. It turned back.
The emotional part that I said, because if he never had no emotional attachment, they was just using each other. There's people out here that just have agreement. So I'm asking, does it really matter if they never had no emotional attachment? That he's friends and he say, you know what, I'm with you now. I don't have no desire to smash her no more. She just my friend.
I didn't think about that one. I don't know.
Is Mindset on social media so we can
we are
promote him?
Yes, we are, of course.
Mindset, you want to promote your social media?
Yeah, what you got going on? What you got going on?
Oh, well, listen, my social media is the THE Mindset Coach, like a basketball coach. You can follow me at the Mindset Coach on all social media platforms. I'm not promoting one social media because I'm not endorsing no social media.
I know that's right. And so we get paid for it. So
That's right.
Absolutely. So we got the mindset coach. We appreciate you coming in
Thank
and having
you.
this conversation.
Gracias.
We will have to
Mindset.
continue this at another time.
See.
And talk about some other stuff because your knowledge and wisdom is definitely.
Don't worry, we got
point.
more questions for you later.
We do, and you can feel free to ask us any questions you want. We will answer as to our best of our ability. So we will do that.
Well, I want to tell you, ladies, this is one of the best podcasts that I've ever been on, and I really enjoyed this conversation and the transparency. But I'm going to tell you this in closing: if somebody waxed my spouse behind, I'm going to have a problem with her having all these phone calls and conversations with this man. I just want that to be known, because if my boo thing listening, or if my future wife listening, and she's talking about stuff, when you said on the podcast that I could be cool with Jimmy, and then Jimmy can have sex 15 times a week. Wait a minute. No. If he penetrated, I don't want no part. Now, if y'all was having a prayer party, and he never had sex with you, cool. But if you was on your knees trying to please, he got to go.
Hey, okay.
It's all about communication.
Y'all, right.
It's
y'all
all about
heard it straight from the
communication.
mouth. You know, be mindset. When he finds his future wife, you better hope nothing that went down in the background. So all I'm gonna say is, be truthful, be honest, but get your life together.
That's right.
And on that note, our chulo.
Thank you, chulo. Gracias.
Thank you. And to all the rest of our chulo fans, what you got going on, mindset? What you want to say?
Oh no, I said thank you so much. I appreciate y'all for having me. Thank you so for having me. Look out for Affirmation. The best clothing line coming out. Straight motivation.
Definitely look for that.
Gracias.
Thank you so much. And to all our True Chula fans, we will see you next week.
Adios. Adios, chulos y chulas.